and welcome to the Zoom room where we chat about news and stories from the creative industries. I'm really excited to introduce our special guest to you today, actress, cinematographer, producer, photographer. Welcome to the Zoom room, Kathy Lou.
Hi, Sumara.
Well, Kathy, I think by the introduction, it's very clear that you wear so many hats in the creative industries. Can you tell us a little bit about your creative platform and how you see yourself in this exciting creative industries?
So I, like you said, I do just a bit of everything. And I think it's just, as we were talking before, I think it's just nice to have that variety and not, just to not put a gate on yourself. I think some people really like it, like, they might just love visual arts, or painting and music, and that's pure passion going there. But I think I've always wanted that. But then I realized that's not me. I would just get really bored if I had to stick to one thing. And so I just ended up going with my feelings and go, you know what, I want to try this out today. I want to try that out today. And then I think at the end of the day, you just end up, you know what, I think it's so great because I think in this time, these days, the internet and stuff, you can actually, become like a polymath if you wanted to, Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's great. I think it's just different perspectives of. I think it's just creativity. You just have to find what works for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I know this has been a busy year for you. You were over living in New York.
Mm-hmm.
You were doing a feature film? Was that being shot here in Australia?
Yeah, that was being shot here in Sydney. Yeah.
Yeah. And then just coming to the end of that, when we had, this crazy time, this COVID pandemic that we found ourselves in and isolation, how did that impact what you were doing?
So I was interestingly, when that happened, I was about to go back to New York, but I was also in a slightly reinvention, new dreaming kind of stage in that little period. So it was kind of quite perfect that COVID happened because it made me stay put and actually kind of come home to myself and work out what my kind of new impulses and instincts were.
Yeah, great. That sounds great. What do you think it is about the creative industries and, all these different art forms that inspires and helps people during a time like this?
I feel that I think when you see stuff, you always kind of reflect it back on yourself. And with all these creative things happening, we have to quite discern it, you will find things that really resonate with you. And I feel that sometimes we have gifts inside, gifts that are unopened. And sometimes you would see someone playing something and that would kind of, bring a spark up in you. So I really feel that with so many people kind of like starting to show themselves online a bit, it's kind of giving everyone permission to go, hey, I could actually, that might be in me. I can feel that. And I think that just adds to who we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What was the last thing that you nerded out on in isolation?
What did I nerd out on? Okay, so the thing is that I'm always been very, very visual. There was no music in my life growing up as a kid. I was from a traditional Asian background,
Yeah.
And so it was just like study, be a doctor, be a lawyer, which, there's no music, no arts, and then but then I grew up and, dropped out of law school and then followed the arts, but then there was never any music. But I've always hanged out with musicians. And I think in the last 2 weeks, I was like, I'm going to have to pick up the guitar. And the funny thing is that my mum she had like 5 guitars in the basement, but she's like, no, Kathy, you're shit at it. You're not made for guitar. You don't look like it, so don't touch it. So that was me growing up. No, it's not me, Mum. Okay. And then so I don't know. So during this time, I was like, you know what? Let's pick this up. And so I've been nerding out on sound, just the sound. And last night I was helping one of my friends had started this thing called Sorry Yours Live, and I was there helping them, you know. And so one of the hosts had a new guitar, and so he brought that out, and then we just, you know, and he just started talking about frequency, and I'm like, wow, tell me more about frequency. So sound, and it's becoming something new for me that I'm kind of nerding out, because again, with colors and visuals, you have that palette of emotions with colors, you know. But with sound, because you're a musician, Samara, you understand that there is so much, again, a whole world of sounds, isn't that? Mm. You know, that's another and you know, so I'm going around listening to people's voices, going, okay. So I'm kind of naturally nerding out on that new sensation of just paying attention to what things sound like.
It's a fascinating area, isn't it? And even you know, thinking about, you know, music and health and you know, as you're saying, those frequencies and how that can, you know, be attributed to, you know, relaxation or unlocking areas of the brain. And yeah, it's really fascinating.
It's really fascinating and it's funny because I was chatting to my friend and we were like you can have a shit day. You go home, you listen to your favorite song, and the day is fine. And you're like, that is magic. That is magic. You had a shit day, you go home, you put on your favorite song, and you're like, life is really good.
It's so great. So have you had to face any creative disappointments during this time being in isolation and lockdown?
I guess there's always disappointments here and there. I had an idea for a project, which we did, and it wasn't exactly what I wanted. But I think as we get older, we kind of learn that, you know, it's not such a big deal. You know, that doesn't work. You know, we tested it, we tried. Let's there's more ideas.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
I think the good thing about with more experience and everything is that you realize it's not a big deal. You know, it's not brain surgery. No one's going to die. It's just not a fascinating project. But hey, you know, people are still alive.
Yeah, so true. It's a great way of looking at it. What's been a surprise to you during this time as far as this massive global online transition that we've found? You know, everybody's, you know, just started almost like living their life on this online platform at the moment. Is there anything to you that's been surprising or interesting?
I think I mentioned I'm so surprised by so many people are just being a bit more creative. I think, like I said, everyone's just starting to do things they haven't done before. And I think it's making people realize, you know, you can actually do a lot of things yourself to get it moving. It's, you know, it starts with you do it, and then you can get people on board once you're out. But, you know, and also, yeah, I feel like it's just making people, you know, come back home and go, okay, how can I do this possibly out of a, I don't know, survival or boredom need or something. But I think it's unlocking. It's funny. So the lockdown is starting to unlock a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a really great way of looking at it. Yeah. What do you think you'll do differently when you get out?
What will I do differently? I think I will be much more. I want to be much more engaged with life. I think I'm naturally quite, dreamy, very, you know, a lot in there. But I think I just feel like you just got to get out and experience more, you know, in the sense of, you know, trust about things coming to you, you know. And it's funny because I've been reflecting a lot about, you know, all the things that's happened in the last 10 years while I'm in isolation. And I'm like, I could have done that. I could have done that. And you realize just engage. There's something about just engaging and living. And even if it's wrong, you kind of go, okay, that wasn't right, I'll move on. But if there's a possibility for any kind of movement, you know, play with that a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Kathy, for joining us in the Zoom room today. It was wonderful to chat to you.
Thanks so much.